gobble, motherfucker.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
Estrogen levels peaking. It's like she's in heat.
When are you gonna grow up, man? Chicks love cars. If you want to get into their pants, you better have a nice, hot Ferrari.
She's my hot Ferrari. Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mpg.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Out of my eyes!
Can we introduce everyone?
Welcome to Schlock Talk, episode 31, part 2. Urgently using the bathroom of cinema without the proper toilet paper provision. I'm Joel.
I'm Paul.
That's Gabe.
That's Craig. Crash and burn, everybody.
Crash and burn, y'all.
Gabe didn't say it.
Crash and burn.
There you go.
So, this is part 2 of Schlock Talk episode 31, and when we last left our adventurers, we were just having a little lover's spat in Achilles' apartment. He had just woken up from a drunken stupor from getting a little carried away from all the mass murdering, or I would say the accidental mass murdering of patrons that were there to watch him fight Alexander. He recovers, and him and Athena, do you see what they did there?
So he wakes up completely naked in his bed.
Achilles wakes up naked just underneath the sheets, sporting his birthday suit, and there's Athena in her creepy, dorky-ass jumpsuit looking at him from the corner of his bed. And
watching him sleep like Edward from
she
Twilight.
Was studying him. She was observing him, and she checked everything about him. She wanted to see how this guy is a champion Robot Jox. She wanted to see how he lived, see him in his natural habitat.
How big his penis is.
Exactly.
Or lack thereof.
And she wanted to see just like what it was that was making him great so that she could adopt that or assimilate to that so that she could become the next Robot Jox. Well, they have an argument and everything, and Achilles is like, it's not fucking skill, it's just fucking luck. I got luck and everything. And she's like, well, no, it's confidence. And he tells her, well, all the other pilots that died had confidence. So they have a disagreement. She gets her freaking feelings hurt and is all butthurt about that. And Achilles
I bet she's
kicks her
butthurt.
flappy ass out of his room.
Her flat butt hurt.
Yeah, her flat butt.
For a black chick, this has got the flattest ass I've ever seen. She's got the flattest ass I've ever seen.
And where we left you off is she was all pouty and everything, and she freaking sashayed her way out of his room.
She sashayed.
Do you think
RuPaul was playing in the background.
Later to feel more like a champion, she rolled up some socks and put them down her pants. She could have it with the champion.
That's what she did in high school.
She should have put him down her shirt, because she's flat in that area as well.
Well, so is he. I mean, so, she doesn't
Yeah.
have to get bruised. She obviously has the same size chest he does, so...
Okay.
that doesn't
All
come into
right.
play.
Well, the day continues its course, and Achilles is watching the Tubies practicing yoga. Both Achilles and Tex comment that Athena is deluding herself if she thinks she's going to fight Alexander. Tex leans in within makeout distance of Achilles and reminds him that she'll never be a Jox because she's a woman, while simultaneously reminding the audience he's still a fat, sexist piece of shit.
From Texas!
Not that we're not in support of that. This is Schlock Talk after all.
We believe sexism
Wait.
and racism have
Sorry,
their
we're
place in
going to
society.
be...
We support Texans?
Not really.
We support Texans in makeout range of our faces.
I'm kind of still hoping Mexico takes them back.
Alexis, Texas.
Wait, Alexis Tex, is that a porn star?
That is a porn star. She's a white girl with a big butt. I like
With
her.
a big butt. All
She's
right.
got a little bit of a hatchet face, but
Ooh,
I'll let it pass.
butterface.
A little bit. I mean,
Well,
she's
as
not
long
bad.
as she's got a hatchet wound.
That's nothing a clown mask won't fix.
Yes,
Hey,
exactly.
wowza, wowza.
Wow. Raping clowns gives me bad flashbacks.
I was not talking about rape.
For once.
For once.
Live out your vulgar fantasy some other way.
Oh, got it on VHS now. I found it on VHS. Found Vulgar on VHS.
Why would you buy
You
that?
bought Vulgar?
It was 25 cents.
Most
Why
shameful.
would
Ah, 25 cents too
You
much.
could have went to an arcade and played half a video game. What the fuck?
You couldn't really play half a video
Why
game.
did you buy
could
that? To
put
give it
one
away for,
quarter
like, a
in the
Christmas
machine
white
and
elephant?
bomb someone
Yeah.
else for a fucking quarter.
No, I want to own everything that we've schlocked, and so I'm working on it.
Might as well. Okay, so you're building your VHS library of shame.
Yes.
Nice. This guy wants no friends.
Anyway, go ahead, Joel. Sorry about that.
So Athena mean mugs Achilles while she transitions into Cobra pose, and Achilles hangs up his regulation ascot.
What is he, like Freddy from the Mystery Squad?
Their jumpsuits, they have these ascots that are like, the Tex wears one too, and like, I don't think it's an ascot as much as it is like a stoma blanket or whatever.
Stoma blanket.
from smoking that chewing tobacco, I don't know. But yeah, they have this like ascot that they wear, this white ascot, and they like curl it and it like poofs out of their like, zipper of their jumpsuit. But anyways, Achilles is, hanging that up. Tex asks asks Achilles why he did that, and Achilles just says, "They're the future, whether we like it or not." And Tex responds, "If they're the future, I'm glad I'm history." An uttered line that makes no fucking sense.
It's from Tex. It's got Texas charm.
Yeah.
What is Texas charm? Is being
Texas
fat and racist?
wisecrack.
It's a
I
discontinued
got
cereal.
Wait a
Charm.
minute, Craig. Craig just called out fat racist people.
Wow. Way to look in the mirror, Craig.
You're all asshole.
It's called projection, Craig.
Following this, the tubies start undressing each other right there in the gym, but unlike the audience, Achilles doesn't seem to be in any rush to get the heck out of Dodge before the soon overly aroused Tex covers the landscape in sweat and ejaculate. Let's try to repeat that. That's right.
Wow, let's not try to repeat that.
Wait, I'm going to say
Yeah.
a comment that needs to be deleted. I haven't seen that many black people having crack since last time I went downtown. There you go. You can delete that out. Thank you.
You don't need to delete that.
Yeah, you do.
White
It
people
says-
smoke crack too.
Okay.
Okay, so not to get too off topic here, we went to San Francisco, Paul and I, a few years back to go see a band play, and while we
Now,
were
I know
there,
why you guys went to San Francisco.
well, that too.
The daddy cornholes.
I wanted to poke him on Polk Street.
Yes, and we're walking down the street, and this guy buys crack on the corner and sits down on the corner and smokes it
And
right
the dealer
there.
says, "Not here, not here."
And then he's like, "God damn!" I'm not kidding. He was a tall black dude. He's like, "God damn! I ain't never seen anybody sit down on the corner and smoke crack." Because that was exactly what that guy was doing, and it was like,
You interfere with my business, man.
I went back and rolled up in a ball on the floor of our hotel room and cried.
And I raped him.
It is an ugly world out there.
And then I felt better.
Anything to make me forget that corner or curbside crack smoking. Athena then discovers Achilles' ascot hanging on the wall, and
God.
Achilles tells her it's a gift for good luck. A good decision on Achilles' part, because Athena all of a sudden puts on the bitch brakes and even actually smiles for the first time in the fucking movie.
That's how we know it's true love right there.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can really feel the sexual tension and chemistry, and by I mean feel like people that like have no nervous system can feel.
Autists.
Achilles says his final goodbyes to Tex, but instead of leaving with the brotacular crash and burn thumbs up fist pump, Achilles says, "That's just for jocks," and offers a handshake instead. Tex reciprocates and crushes every bone in Achilles' hand with his Christmas ham-sized fist.
So wait, it's just for jocks? That means Craig and I can't do crash and burn anymore.
Yeah. Well, you guys
Burn
retired
and
from...
crash. Right? We'll make it our own.
We do a thumbs down.
We try not to hit our fists together too hard lest they bruise.
So the next scene has us watch as Achilles parks his car in the projects. This car is so awesome in quotations, that you can only close the door with a brick-sized remote control. Ladies and gentlemen, the future!
Yeah, Doc Brown definitely had something to do with the production of this car.
I think it was more like the dog Einstein that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Achilles wanders through the corridors of the ghetto, donning a respirator, most likely because of an outbreak of SARS 2.0. It just can't be beat since they patched it. It's also worth noting that he passes a creepy poster of Octomom sporting her pregnant belly again.
Yeah, that comes up a few times.
Yeah, but it's never like really.
Apparently, the world
addressed.
needs to repopulate. The only way they can do it is through test tube babies and
Octomom.
Yes.
And Achilles' brother, who apparently has super sperm. Those are the only two ways to repopulate the Earth.
You guys know that somebody offered Octomom like money to be in a porno?
Oh yeah, I think
She
it's
was in
it's
the
on the
porno.
shelves.
It's like a porno, yeah.
Like if you go to Mr. Peeps down the street, it's on the
So
shelves.
gross.
I don't know. I don't want to watch it. It's
I'm
too
scared.
scary.
Yes.
We should have a double feature.
There we go.
Do that, and then like the Farrah chick from Teenage Mom. She's got a few pornos out.
She's
there.
not so hot either. Anyway.
So
You know what?
Schlock Talk will be moving
She's
to
done
not
porn
so hot
too, wow.
porn reviews in the near future.
yeah,
Please look forward to
shameful
that.
porn reviews.
There's a lot of shameful porn out there, let me tell you.
You know, there's an
Gabe
Evil Dead
knows it.
parody.
They're making a TV series of that too.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
There's an Evil Dead porno parody?
Yeah.
Wow. There's a Conan the
Is
Barbarian,
it
the
called
Bone
Evil
Barian.
Clutch?
The Bone Barian.
The Bone Barian. That'd be worth watching. Can't be worse than Square Bob, Square Nuts, whatever that thing was.
Yeah. Craig tried to show me this one. I didn't like it at all. It was shaving Ryan's privates. Just couldn't get into
They
it.
were pretty fuzzy, man.
Yeah. From this and all the other imagery earlier in the movie, I think it's safe to say the future has a raging hard-on for babies. So, Craig, you've got something to look forward to.
Wait. Do they want to have sex with them or eat them?
Probably both.
Oh, okay.
Give me a
you
baby
can
back,
have
baby
your
back.
cake and eat it too in the
Soylent
future, Craig.
Greens are tasty.
Chili's baby back babies.
Oh, baby back ribs.
Oh my god.
There's also a poster of Achilles, defaced with the traditional missing tooth, monocle, and Satan mustache. It even has the word coward on it, misspelled, naturally.
The future hasn't changed
Yeah.
at all.
The education system that raised the illiterate robot jock that we're watching right now, not very brilliant.
I don't think he could read the words, so he's cool. He didn't get his feelings hurt. He was just probably like, I don't have a missing tooth or a devil mustache.
I better buy a monocle now.
They did legitimately point out that he cannot read.
Yeah,
at one
he
point,
said it.
So
He
Which
said,
is really weird.
I may not read, but I'm not a dummy. Something like that.
because he signed a contract he couldn't read.
You sure he didn't say breed?
Yeah, there we go. I think we misheard that. So and then later Achilles calls what I could only describe as the first elevator with a swinging door. Actually, two of them if you take an even closer look. One
saloon
swings on the
elevator.
outside, one swings on the inside.
It's the way they were in the Wild Wild West days.
It's a video game door. It opens in and out.
You
Yeah,
walk
there,
in there,
there you go.
walk in there. There's a spittoon right next to the buttons.
Yeah.
A man playing the piano.
Keep going with that analogy, Paul. Come on, it's working so well.
Hookers upstairs.
Keep going.
Poker game.
Hi
going
there,
on.
tall, dark, and handsome.
With their tall hats and
They give you a nice cold sarsaparilla.
okay, moving along.
On your own island there.
Moving along.
Now, was this guy Achilles' brother or his brother-in-law? I thought that was his sister.
I thought when I asked last time, we said it was his brother, so it could have changed.
I think it's his
don't know.
brother and sister-in-law.
It's his brother and sister-in-law? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so Achilles finally reaches his destination, the apartment of his brother and sister-in-law and their Rugrat Hellspawn army. Achilles' brother just happens to be on his computer, proving the age-old adage, people in glass offices shouldn't masturbate to internet go porn in front of their families. Achilles disrobes his tech-sized trench coat, revealing a future fashion ripped straight from the set of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Billy, Achilles' brother, is summoned to the room by his kids and emerges sporting a pair of safety glasses. They sit down for a hot dog dinner, but not before Achilles' sister-in-law gets a harassing call from an overly obsessed fan. I guess the online forums died in the war, too.
Well, now let's be clear. The hot dog dinner is like a single sausage sitting in the middle of It looks like a turd. It looks like a turd.
Maybe
It's
that's
a
what
fucking
they're
hot
eating.
dog inside a fucking
Recycling.
shit stew.
Well, you know, there's so much pregnancy going on in that household. Maybe it's like a placenta.
Oh God.
Wow.
So, because they have a population problem, they decided the wisest thing to do
Is not
was
feed them?
to invest all their money in giant robots to fight each other, rather than say like giant agricultural equipment, which might actually feed the population. This
Yes.
seems rational. They need to fight over territory for the 15 people they have in their fucking nation, but they can't farm it. So anyway, tangent off.
Well, let's just be clear. Robot Farmers would not be as interesting a movie as
Yeah,
Robot
it's not
Jox.
called Robot
I
Farmers,
don't know
okay?
if that's true or not. I know agriculture bots might actually work just as well. You know, giant
They
combines.
could have like a plant off instead of like,
Plant off.
yeah, like who grew the biggest pumpkin?
They're freaking like raking up fucking potatoes and shit.
Be like, what's Harvest Moon? the most boring video game ever created.
They transform into like swafters and plows and graders and stuff, and they just make the fucking soil even more fertile.
Farmer John and his love of earthworms has more sexual tension than Achilles and what's her name. I mean, come on.
Those earthworms had bigger asses.
Yes. You just have to know where to look.
Which end is it?
It's right on the end. It's right on the end. That's where the ass
Which
is.
end is it? It's like Gabe. They kind of look alike.
Cut back to Jox HQ, and the Tubies are being briefed on their next challenge. Their mission? To climb to the top of an embarrassing jungle gym.
The monkey bar challenge.
Yes.
Winner gets to fight Alexander, although not falling to your fucking death could be seen as a reward too. The buzzer horns and everyone scrambles to the top. The jungle gym is rigged with all manner of Bond-like booby traps to include oil slicks and heat sinks. Athena is neck and neck with Sargon, the little bitch who picks fights that he can't finish,
Argon.
for reaching the end.
Sargon, take me away.
So how does this running up a jungle gym help train you to operate a giant robot that can barely move? What is the point of having this super agility?
As you will find out, this is the one thing that directly relates to robot joxing, as we'll find out in a future scene. So Sargon kicks Athena in the gut, but doesn't knock her off. He almost claims victory, but he falls 30-plus feet to the floor when he steps on a breakaway bar. Athena snatches the win and pulls herself up through the rabbit hole in the center of the ceiling. I like to think that when she emerged through the other end, she pulled out a map and said that she should have taken a left at Albuquerque.
I thought the rabbit hole looked again like a rectum with glowing hemorrhoid pain.
Wow.
Watch out for the giant falling turd.
Yes.
Shortly after, the news media announces Athena as the next contender for the fight with Alexander, and upon learning this, Achilles has a change of heart and decides to offer his services to Commissioner Jameson on the grounds that no dumbass patrons be allowed in the arena.
Yeah, he's not being a chauvinist asshole at all by saying, "Oh, a woman's gonna fight him. That can't happen.
I can't
I'll
let
go
any
in there
harm
and
come
be
to
a
that
man."
little lady, otherwise she won't touch my D later.
Apparently, Tex has rubbed off on him in more than one way in the past. There.
Let's just be clear. We're really stretching the definition of the word woman.
Well, she is a test
We're
tube.
calling her
Awkward teenage boy.
I wouldn't call her a woman as much as I would call her penis challenged.
Yes. She probably has a giant clitoris.
One of
That's
the
really
ones that
gross.
pop out, those Jack-in-the-Box clitorises.
Oh, God. It's making me dry heave a little bit.
We cut back to the gantry, and Achilles is reviewing the schedule while doing a walk around when he asks Matsumoto why there is no new weapons training. Not even a snidely whiplash second goes by when Tex emerges from behind the robot, approaches both of them, and asks Matsumoto the same. It's worth mentioning here that the Foley artist wasn't doing his job during this scene because I couldn't hear a single jingling of spurs with the steps that Tex was taking. Ever in this movie.
He just wears a hat. He just wears a hat and is fat and has a southern accent, so he's Tex.
He likes barbecue. I'm pretty sure.
And I ain't,
Barbecue
He
what?
likes to ride in that elevator a lot.
and I ain't queer, and I'm a God-fearing Christian.
barbecued sorghum.
Baby.
You know that they're eating like lentils or some bullshit all the time.
Babies.
Babies. Sorry.
That's why they have so many kids, so they can keep feeding themselves.
Barbecued babies. Barbecued babies is made of babies.
Oh, cool.
What a revelation!
That's just,
Soylent baby.
It's made of baby.
Wait, soylent or soiled? Which type are we eating?
soiled green.
Soiled greens.
It's not just a figure of speech.
It's meconium.
Oh.
Background to that is like a human produces 5 tons of shit in their lifetime, but one human only equates to about 100 pounds of food or edible food.
Yeah, we're not.
It's the perfect system.
We're not a good cash crop.
Matsumoto says that the weapons brief will be given right before the fight instead of the day before. The ultimate security measure, as he calls it. Although I believe the ultimate measure would be to murder everyone on the staff.
Yeah, what did he come up with so far? He came up with oil slicks and a different colored laser beam.
Yeah, different color laser
This guy
beam.
is pretty badass.
Yeah.
This inventor.
And
What
you
has
know
he
what?
got up his sleeve next?
Spoiler alert, this weapon, just as lame. To no one's surprise, this news does nothing to lower Tex's already through the fucking stratosphere diabetic blood pressure. Achilles and Tex walk away and
was
Tex...
that a jab at you, Gabe?
Sorry, I was looking at my email.
Okay.
I'm so glad you joined us, Gabe.
It probably was, and I probably deserved it. I don't know what he said, and I don't.
You were
yeah,
making
I
fun
know.
of diabetics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Is everything all right, Gabe?
I can't drink alcohol, so no. and pot's not legal till July, so no. Everything is not okay.
At least
Paul.
we live in a state where pot's gonna be legal.
Yeah.
Achilles
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, there we go. Achilles and Tex walk away, and Tex hints that Matsumoto might be the spy who's been sabotaging the Coalition's fights all along. About an hour later, Achilles is socking a punching bag, another skill crucial to being a pilot.
Yes.
And their session is interrupted when they discovered a pouting Athena has been watching them the whole time. Later, we're all back at our favorite bar, and the usual losers are hailing Achilles for his returning to face off with Alexander. Athena makes a scene like most women do. Am I right, guys?
Bitches be crazy, yo.
Mm-hmm. And accuses Achilles of faking his exodus as a means to grab more money.
We hate women.
More
We're
money?
not-
What is he spending his money on? He had one sausage made out of crap in a house full of 8 people.
It just looked like such a turd in the middle of that bowl.
It was a fucking hot dog in turd, like liquid turd stew. You could tell the hot dog from the
Hey.
shit surrounding it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Now, what do they spend their currency on in this place, though? I mean, there was like a...
Fertility drugs.
Tickets to go die at a stadium.
Yes.
Apparently.
Tickets to go to...
He can buy more stock in the Robot Jox thing, which I don't really get either. But
Yeah.
They were betting on the odds. But yeah, they were like shares. They're talking about shares. I'm like, you're
Yeah,
betting on
so-
odds, but you're buying... Whatever.
apparently you're buying a part of your country when you spend money on these fights. It's like, if you win, you get 2/3 of an acre in the middle of Alaska, which is a nuclear wasteland. Enjoy.
Yeah, they're fighting for Alaska, so I'm assuming it's unscathed by nuclear war. Or at least ravaged by it.
Got some
Yeah.
prime farming
Well-
land if you want to farm snow and fucking ice. Yeah, it's fantastic. Go find yourself a 3-headed caribou after the nuclear war. It's good times.
Well, all of a sudden, Alexander joins the festivities and says
Are you
he's...
talking about Sarah Palin?
Yes, she can see Russia from her house. Okay, it's impressive.
Well, just then, Alexander joins the
What are you looking at me
festivities.
for? Sorry, Joel.
Yeah,
Go
no
ahead.
problem.
I thought you'd leap to her defense.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just then, Alexander all of a sudden joins the festivities and said he's glad to see Achilles. Achilles says the feeling is not mutual and that Alexander is curdling his drink, his alcoholic drink. Alexander responds with the elementary school playground retort, "You make mine taste like blood."
Yeah, I used to say that.
Blah blah.
3rd grade, man, that was all the rage.
How much blood? 3 pints of blood. 1
Ah,
pint of blood. 2 pints of blood.
Meanwhile, back at HQ, Matsumoto is recording the special weapons brief. He finishes when just a moment later, Tex enters the room and orders a number 11. I'm just kidding. He just...
He's finishing up the recording. You pull back the rubber band and fire it.
Pull back the foreskin and
Paper
clean.
projects.
Grab and tug forward.
You know? I think they would do something like that.
Tex enters the room and orders a number 11. I'm just kidding. He asked... Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, it was a number 12.
Get your numbers right, man.
I meant 2 number 11s. This guy's a big boy. He asked Matsumoto... Oh, geez. What's going on? Your hands-free keyboard. Okay. He asked Matsumoto why he wasn't included in the special weapons brief. Matsumoto then shows Tex a fight playback recording in which Tex was the pilot and landed a lucky shot that won the match. Matsumoto proves via Blade Runner-esque video enhancement that the shot was precise and planned. He accuses Tex of being a Confederate spy and pulls a gun out on him. Tex removes his Stenson and bows his smelly head in shame, then does what any cornered fat ass would do and hits the gun with his hat, disarming Matsumoto and turning the tables. Fortunately, Matsumoto watched Battlefield Earth the night before and decides to turn on his closed-circuit camera to record the ensuing conversation. You know, for leverage. Matsumoto tries to emotionally appeal to Tex, stating that the real Tex is inside trying to get out. I'm guessing the traitorous Tex ate the original one.
And I just want to say, as a fat guy, that if I was knocking a gun out of somebody's hands, I'd use my ham hand, not my Tex hand.
Both.
Not my ham-sized hand, the hand that I used
Well, I
to
think
eat ham.
he actually keeps a ham in his hat.
Okay, fair enough.
I do that sometimes.
Thanks for clarification, Paul. Hey, did you get a haircut?
I did.
All right, looks good.
How could you not tell? I mean, the guy
He always
has
has it back.
1/5.
You look quite a bit less rapey.
Yeah, it's true. You
Well,
do.
thank you.
Yeah, you look a lot less Nick Nolte-ish.
Yeah. But a little more Frank Booth-ish.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not sure how I
Did you-
feel about that.
Did you?
I thought you said I look less rapey.
Did you finally get the message when you went to the park with Lilu and all the other parents held their kids and walked away?
To be fair, when your hair was longer, you looked like you'd committed more rapes than Frank Booth.
Jeez. Good
Anyway.
to know. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. This is the feedback.
Paul actually looks like his feelings are hurt.
This is the constructive criticism I crave. Don't tell me I'm doing something right and maybe I should try something different. Just tell me I'm fucking wrong. I'm a fucking rapist. Tell me I'm a fucking rapist. That's what I want to
That
hear.
is constructive criticism. You know, you look like a fucking rapist. Is
There's no way to beat around the bush. It looks like maybe you're not the guy who kind of wants consent from the ladies' side. Maybe you tend to dance around statutory rape laws. You kind of think that's for the birds.
Maybe even more so. It looks like it's not. You just don't wait for consent. You actively don't seek it.
So, are we talking Frank Booth, or like well-dressed man?
Like, consent is so boring.
Frank Booth.
It's
a
the
love
little
letter.
oxygen mask that I'm breathing, right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
what.
It's a bullet straight from a. It's a bullet straight from a fucking gun. Anyway, sorry, Paul.
This doesn't work as... Or, sorry. So, anyways, this appeal doesn't work as
Hey,
Tex
you want to go
blows...
for a joyride?
he's got a pogo stick in his pocket. And he's looking for you to bounce on it.
Sorry, Joel.
My record's 50. This doesn't work as Tex blows Matsumoto away, staining his Confucius Zodiac calendar-clad wall with his brain matter. Tex plants the gun in Matsumoto's lifeless hand and says, "This is the real Tex Conway. I guess all the other Tex Conways were just imitating." Later in Achilles' dormitory, Athena asks to come in and apologize for her conduct at the bar. She says she has a gift for him and asks him to turn around. Ooh. She sticks him with a sedative, which is actually a much better alternative to a hot boner in the ass.
That was what I was expecting. You don't ever,
Giant clitoris in the ass.
don't ever just turn around and take their word for it when a she-he asks you, says they have a surprise.
Well, yeah, we already know what the surprise is.
Switchblade.
Achilles turns around and slaps the gun away from him, Captain Kirk style, and succumbs to a dizzy spell, and Athena scrambles to disable his video phone. Achilles recovers and the sexual tension between the two crescendos into a fight/making out session. The fight ultimately concludes as Achilles is kneed in both the nards and the face and is trapped in his room when Athena sabotages the door console as she's fleeing the scene. It's dawn, and every asshole working in the robot gantry is too fucking stupid to realize that the ahead of schedule arrived wordless Achilles, who now seems to be sporting a super opaque helmet visor and shrimpy asshole gait, might not really be him.
Also a good foot taller.
Hey, Achilles, what happened to your ass? You don't have one anymore.
Nothing!
You used to have boobs, man. What's going on?
I lost him in a chick fucking accident. Because I fuck chicks. Yeah.
Chick fucking accident.
Because I'm a dude.
That's awesome.
Sit and twist maneuver went the wrong way.
Even Archibald McUnion Jack, the British spaceball guard, fucking falls for the ruse, stating, "It's his last fight. He's got a lot on his mind." Athena is just about to climb into the cockpit when
That was more Australia.
Okay. He's like, "It's his last fight. He's got a lot on his mind."
New Zealand.
Thanks a lot. Man.
Yeah. Hey, can you put on like giant rubber feet when you do that line?
I feel like you got rejected from My Fair Lady as a kid, and it just went downhill from there.
So I saw this National Geographic thing about wildlife in Australia, and it was about this guy that got stung by a platypus.
I was going to say,
do that.
Stung by a platypus?
They have
Is it a
thorn
scorpion?
things on the it's a
Their
platypus
claws, right?
on their back feet. That it's like a mating thing. So the males fight, and so they sting, and the sting doesn't cause like physiological
It's
harm
like a
necessarily.
venom?
It's a venom that is there to induce pain, and it's like one of the most painful things that you can have happen to you. But the guy was doing a reenactment of it because he got stung by one. And he was going. It was hilarious because he was going, "Bloody hell! Bloody hell!" It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You know,
Bloody hell, translation, fuck my life! Fuck my life!
any guy that gets put down by a platypus is just kind of lame. I'm sorry.
It happens like 7 or 8 times a year in Australia. It doesn't happen
7
very
to 8
often.
lame people a year
Yes.
in Australia
Yeah,
get
it's
taken out by
the-
platypi.
Bestiality guys that get it.
Imagine right on your dick.
Oh man, you try to insert and those little claws just scrabble away
Oh,
at it.
I can imagine, Gabe.
Raise your hand if you
I
think
can
Steve
imagine.
Irwin fucked a crocodile.
He probably did. That stingray was just trying to pay him back. Sad but true.
Athena is just about to climb into the cockpit when the black engineer slaps her on the ass for good luck. She blows her cover by getting all offended and shit, and the black engineer says something along the lines of, "Hey, this sucker ain't Achilles." And they attempt
His
to
ass. I know that man's ass.
And then he
that ain't
smokes-
that man's ass.
Then he smokes some crack, right?
No, he sells it.
Okay.
They attempt to restrain her, but instead she hands their asses to them and closes the canopy. Commissioner Gordon watches the scene via live recording and asks for someone to check Achilles' quarters.
Did the bat signal go off? at any point?
Hindquarters.
Hindquarters. Back in his room, Achilles comes to and attempts to both leave and call out of the room, but is met with no success. Suddenly he has a grand idea when he locates his iCar remote and boots it up. The display that is shown is presumably a map that resembles more of a Pac-Man level than actual fucking terrain. Achilles pilots the vehicle without eating any ghosts or the occasional spontaneously generated fruit along the way through the outside wall of his room and climbs in.
You know, the little lock above the lever on his door probably would have made this a lot easier. I don't know why he used the car remote.
And climbs in. He then burns burns hover juice or whatever powers the shame mobile and beats feet to the fight.
It's like a glorified fog machine.
Yeah.
Is that what it looks like? I don't remember.
It looks pretty shitty. It's
like a
there's like
cardboard
10
DeLorean.
Yeah.
polygon surfaces defines this fucking car. Chaos ensues as the gantry and Commissioner Gordon beseeches Professor Laplace, Mini Golem, to reason with Athena. Laplace tries to pull the whole "you're disappointing mommy" routine, but that bitch Athena just ain't having it. Athena starts the manual override and begins to ascend the arena when Tex cuts the power to the elevator. Gordon sends Spaceball Squad 6 into the gantry to open fire on Athena's insubordinate flat ass, but this plan fails as she begins to Donkey Kong climb up the walls through the main hatch, while laughing menacingly.
Please do that again.
Bloody hell! Bloody hell!
It's the platypie again! Oh, mine!
Rain. Achilles arrives just as she pulls the robot through to the surface, through the hole. Wow, this is, in this entire fucking movie, the jungle gym training is the only one thing that was directly used by a pilot when conducting a fight. Good freaking night, man.
I never even put that together. Good for you, Joel.
Yeah, kudos. Gordon tries to appeal to the official...
Listen, I wasn't going that far. Let's start patting ourselves on the back too hard.
Yeah, you're still an asshole. I still hate you. Gordon tries to appeal to the officials and ask them to postpone the brawl, but they tell him, tough tits! Pilot identity is not their bag, baby, and this shit is going down right fucking now. The team accepts that they cannot regain control of the robot and instead tries to give Athena the support she would need to win the fight. Achilles asks about the special weapon brief that Matsumoto prepared, and Tex informs Achilles that he was a traitor and shot himself the night prior, and that the special weapons may have already been compromised. Achilles has the team play back the brief anyways, revealing that the special weapon is a blinding magnesium flare that will disorient the enemy for up to 90 seconds. The video also recounts the death of Matsumoto at the hands of Tex's betrayal.
So the special weapon is high beams.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
This guy has got green lasers, oil slicks, and high beams.
Yeah, seriously, don't give the guy who got the high score at Spy Hunter the special fucking weapons.
That was pretty much what I was thinking right there. Spy Hunter was exactly what I'm channeling at that point in time.
Well, guys, he died before he could implement the silly string attack.
Or the ejector seat.
Catapult with real cats.
Actually, it would have been pretty great if when he got shot, if he'd have gone, Rodeo! Sounds like a night at Gabe's house. Sorry. Okay.
Tex responds, so Commissioner Gordon has Tex restrained and says to him, "I'll see you hang for this." Tex responds with the "Nuh-uh, I'll see you in hell," and then with all the fat boy rage in the universe, escapes his captors and takes a swan dive out a gaping hole in the wall, just barely snatching the bronze in this event.
The men's 100-meter dash straight downwards events brought to you by Soylent Greens.
Meanwhile, on the surface, Alexander makes his appearance via flying and lands, showing off his new legs. 2 pairs of even scrawnier legs. I'm wondering if the director decided to go with 4 legs instead of 2 because the puppeteers parked in his place and he wanted a way to make their lives miserable for doing so. Athena and Alexander commenced the fight with traditional rocket volley handshake. With the traditional rocket volley handshake we saw earlier in the film. The explosions from Athena's rockets break up the ground in front of Alexander and causes the legs of his robot to buckle. The team convinces Athena to use the blinders despite Tex being exposed as a spy. Athena activates the weapon and Alexander screams in pain as his eyes are overloaded with light. And then Athena follows up with, yep, you guessed it, abso-fucking-lutely nothing. She stands there like an asshole, and Alexander, with strength of million Russian bears, pounces on her self-congratulatory ass. Alexander dishes out a flurry of
Only time her ass is going to be pounced on ever.
Alexander dishes out a flurry of beat-down punches when Achilles tells Athena to use the bolo saw. She does, and Alexander's right arm is severed clean off. But once again, Alexander has a dirty trick stepped up his robo sleeve and sets his left fist to pleasure mode and pounds Athena's cockpit with the reciprocating pneumatic
I
force.
was going to ask you if a robo sleeve was similar to a wizard sleeve. It sounds like it probably is.
Well, if it's a woman, is it technically a cockpit or is it like a vag hole? Do they have to change that?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm just asking listeners if you know. Please write to CraigIsNotRacist at schlocktalk.com and let me know.
Craig, do you want to split this last Samoan?
Hey, that's
Nothing
some
I
racist
like more
shit
than
there.
splitting a Samoan with my boy Gabe. Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, don't forget to split one for your homies. The officials take notice that Alexander has just made Athena his bitch and commands him to hold off until they render judgment. Alexander suddenly discovers that he was fighting Athena, a girl, all along, and hovers his raised foot above her in disgust, awaiting to deliver his patented death stomp. Well, it's funny because he raises his foot, right? And the front foot raises, but how does his fucking side or back feet on the robot, how does he control those too? He has to wiggle his ass cheeks?
I think he has he has really long poles that are stuck through his pockets, and he has to kind of manipulate those with his hands to get it to walk the proper way. It's pretty difficult.
Well, they don't really show it, but his dick is in a special harness. And it's operating a separate joystick.
And he's got a turd coming out his ass for the other leg.
Oh my god.
It's very difficult.
That might be the lowest point in history right there.
We watched a movie about guys who eat Jewish people.
Yeah.
In our history.
This was worse.
No.
This is worse.
This was
Okay.
objectively worse.
This is the low point. Okay, noted.
He's controlling a
Eating-
robot
eating
with his
Jewish
dick
rape victims.
and a turd sticking out of his butt.
Well, okay.
I rest my case.
Well, that's a hard one to beat.
And I just choked on a Samoan. Not the first time that's happened.
It was a pretty well endowed Samoan.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's pretty loaded.
Yeah. They're big people, them Samoans,
Achilles arrives just in time to offer aid to Athena and tells Alexander, "I'm gonna get in this thing and I'm gonna kick your ass!" And I'm pretty sure somewhere there were 100 bald eagles soaring overhead.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I thought they'd be extinct by now, given the whole nuclear wasteland thing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, well,
Those
they're
are the
extinct
first
because
bitches
they
you
ate
go.
them. That's why they eat babies now.
So,
Bald eagle meat.
I'm completely getting off on another tangent, but so this lady I used to work with, her son was an Eagle Scout, and one of the things that they did was they did some sort of reforestation of some bald eagle habitat, and each of the Eagle Scouts was responsible for one section, and they had just gotten to the point where the eagle was now old enough to fly, and she just posted on Facebook about how all these different things that he had done. And so I just, as a joke, I'm like, so at what point do they get to eat the bald eagle? And her fucking husband's like, that's not funny.
Fuck yeah, it's funny.
They're divorced now.
Was that the breaking point? You had no sense of
It
humor
might have
about
been.
eating?
It might have been. What's that?
You caused it. You caused their divorce.
Yeah, it was my fault. It was my fault.
Bald
Don't you
eagle
get a badge
eggs
for
are
that?
best
Huh?
scrambled.
Don't you get a badge for that?
I'm sure.
Divorcing
Eagle
others
eater.
badge.
Yeah, eagle eating badge.
Endangered species endangered badge.
That's how you become an Eagle Scout.
You have to
Eat
eat the eagle
Scout out eagles
and
and, you eat them.
absorb his power.
There's nothing more American
And then you can
than
fly.
eating a bald eagle. I mean, how can you get more American than that?
You have it with a
You have-
slice of apple pie.
You have a flag, apple pie, and eagle meat.
You eat it with a flag.
There you go. Eat it with a flag. I don't know how that works. Well, I'll take your word for it. Patriotism. Redneck style.
Achilles climbs on in and he starts making out with the barely conscious and bleeding Athena because all fighter pilots are douchebags, remember? And dons her garb. Alexander refuses to miss out on his chance to beat and kill Achilles once and for all, and stomps on the referee aircraft, while defying both the rules and the will of his superiors.
To be fair, have the referees ever done anything that was useful in the entire span of this movie?
No, they've really just been complete tools.
They're just
So
like
pretty
bitches.
much, I mean, they're really referees.
Yes.
Just bitches. Yeah, just kill them.
They're
Just
like a
kill 'em
Deus Ex Machina to propel the plot along and make stupid rulings that don't make any sense so that
Plot
we can get to the
device.
point at the end of this movie where Achilles is making out with Athena in the cockpit.
Vagina hole.
Yeah.
With the sexual tension that really they did a pretty shitty job fucking seamstressing along in this entire fucking movie. Although the coalition is now won by default, Achilles tells Commissioner Gordon that the fight is not over for either of them. This shit's fucking personal. His robot comes to full...
Why is it personal, by the way?
We never know.
Because they just don't like each other? Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
They're guys.
Well-
That's all you need to know. They're bros. They just
He
don't know.
had eaten his baby, and that's what happened.
I raised that baby from birth.
Do you think one day they decided to split the baby and the one guy who got the bigger part of the wishbone just pissed off the other guy? And it was just really
That's what
sad.
happened.
Yeah.
It's like he had to eat the ass end of the baby. He wanted the head end.
That's true. Ass end has more, meat and nutrients in it, though, so I don't know why he was mad. I've learned that from experience.
He likes the baby head cheese.
How's Lulu doing, by the way, Paul?
Good.
Okay. You feeding her well?
You're never gonna see her again, but yeah, she's doing great.
Achilles' robot comes to full power and he kicks Alexander's legs out from under him, rights himself, and squares off for the final battle we've all been waiting for. Alexander recovers and leans back for a double leg stomp to Achilles' face when Achilles all of a sudden engages his thrusters and flies upward into fucking space.
Okay, I'm going to put this in perspective again. They can build giant robots that can propel themselves into space, but they can't grow fucking corn for some reason. What the fuck is wrong with this
Maybe they just
civilization?
don't want corn.
No,
Babies probably taste better.
They
maybe they do.
Better off engineering a hot dog tree.
Something, for Christ's sake. Giant robots that can blow each other up and go into space, but yes, you can only eat hot dogs for dinner. This
come on.
society has issues.
They're
That's what
happy
they call
with turds,
actual
too.
meat. Alexander gives chase, and before we know it, both pilots are in orbit around the planet. Alexander has Achilles in his sight and seems to be mumbling / breathing heavily to himself, which sounds not unlike Gabe when he's masturbating. Oh gosh, we'll get you go.
Does he scream bloody hell when he finishes?
Bloody hell!
Only if I'm being stung by a platypus at the time. Which, to be fair, is a lot.
Is that a position you've tried with your wife? Being stung by a platypus?
Oh, that's another sex move, isn't it? The stinging platypus.
It's right up there with nachos. I don't think our listeners heard that.
And the the Colorado tank top.
Do you ask your wife if she's like some nachos on her platypus?
Craig, obviously the platypus is for me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ, get with the program here. Come on.
Alexander locks on and then fires a missile, which he has to remotely pilot. A missile that travels faster than the fucking speed of sound and, human reflexes. What the fuck ever,
Well, those
Hollywood.
robots move so super fast. Like, I don't know. How fast do you think they move? I'm pretty sure
like-
I could outrun one. And if you've seen me, I can't outrun a lot. But I'm pretty sure I could outrun one of these robots.
Craig could attempt
My money-
to ride a unicycle for the first time in his fucking life faster than those fucking things walk.
And lap these things with regularity.
So he locks on, fires a missile, and he blows up Achilles' right foot. Achilles loses power in his right engine, and Alexander gives a stereotypical Das Vidania as Achilles plummets towards Earth. Somehow, Achilles manages to crash land his robot dick first into the sand.
Yeah, in the very same spot
Yeah.
where they've been fighting the whole time. They go into orbit, he has an engine blown out, and he managed to land it within 10 feet of the spot they originally took off
It might have
from.
been geosynchronous orbit.
What the fuck does that mean? Shut up!
That was my version of Paul talking to us about how much he liked the movie Boyhood. The correct response is,
Well-
quit being such a fag.
Any movie with the word boy in it automatically gets Paul's attention.
Yes.
Yep. So he manages to crash land it without completely burning up on re-entry. Like the fucking computer tells him cockpit temperature 400 degrees. And in the very same fucking spot where the fight began. Alexander lands right behind him and is closing in when Achilles pushes a red button and his robot transforms into the most retarded tank in history. Achilles is cruising towards Alexander at full speed, but the overconfident...
3.5 miles per hour.
Yes.
I might add.
But the overconfident Confederate pilot just can't seem to hit this guy.
Yeah, that maneuvering power that thing has on tank treads with no ability to steer whatsoever can somehow evade this guy. Whose only move, if you watch the movie, Alexander's only move that he's mastered is to lean forward and stick out his hand.
Yeah.
That's the only move he really does throughout the whole fucking
You're not
movie.
seeing the joystick.
Yes, I'm sorry, the dick stick and the turd also come those just maneuver the back legs.
Are we
Otherwise,
revisiting
lean
that joke?
forward, grab. That's all he does.
It's not enough to go low. We must also revisit it. Potentially.
If only the robot could make the
over
menacing
again.
looks in his face that he likes to make all the time. That he'd fucking have nailed. So, he can't hit him because Achilles is so maneuverable. Achilles approaches robot blowjob distance while firing rockets at his opponent's codpiece when the frustrated Alexander flips Achilles onto his stupid vehicle mode head. We're then treated to the famed Dick Chainsaw scene as we watch the cutter unfold from the recesses of Alexander's nether regions. He slices the cockpit in half, but Achilles pulls some Indiana Jones moves and dodges that shit like a boss and evacuates the robot.
He leaves the robot. He does not force the robot to shit. Just wanted to clarify.
He gives the robot an enema.
Yes.
Now, why is it that the robot doesn't have an eject button, but it does have an ejaculate button? Is that weird?
I think that's a typo, guys.
It's a little strange.
It's a little
You mean eject, right?
No,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
no, you got the cockpit
Sure.
saw. The cock saw.
Did I miss this? Is there actually a button in the cockpit that says ejaculate?
Yes. There is the
right
Shit!
next-
You should
It's
watch
right
the
next to
movie
the dick
again.
stick.
I'm gonna have to rent it again. Yeah.
Shoot you out of your cockpit on a stream of oil. It's very disturbing.
I think I have this on VHS. I might have to go back and revisit. Okay.
He scurries away from Alexander and gives him the slip when he notices Alexander's severed arm lying in the field a few hundred feet away from him. He then makes a break for it. Zigzagging and narrowly avoiding minigun fire from Alexander. What are you up to, Achilles? What are you planning?
Dun, dun, dun.
Achilles makes it to the arm
Dun,
with
dun.
Alexander right behind him.
Dun, dun, dun.
Safely in cover, Achilles begins to attempt to hotwire the arm despite the fact that it's
Dun, dun,
foreign
dun.
technology and he lacks the degree to even comprehend what he's doing.
Not to mention, it was like sawed off of the main component there. You think maybe there'd be some components within the robot itself that would have helped with this?
You think
Yes.
the control systems might be in the cockpit?
You know, it could be.
Well, this is what they did in Tokyo Gore Police. Remember that guy has his arm severed and then he pulls the tendon and it causes the gun to shoot? He's more or less doing the same thing, only with a giant robot
Hey,
arm.
there we go. Awesome. So they also... Tokyo Gore Police stole some shit from this movie. Shame
Yes.
on you.
And
All right, Alexander's right on top of him when he finally activates the rocket punch circuit and the severed arm launches its fist towards what I'm guessing is Alexander's gas tank because the robot just fucking bursts into flames. What the fuck is it with the engineers putting all the sensitive parts of a battle bot on the outside and up front?
I don't know. They're not very bright people.
Achilles breathes a sigh of relief, but also seems to have that "my mom's gonna kill me" look in his face. I guess he thought the thought of Alexander burning to death and screaming in agony wasn't as good as Achilles thought it would be in his head. But believe it or not, this fight's not over.
Can you say that with any more intensity, Joel?
This fight's not over.
This fight's not over. Okay.
And then it's like Ebola.
Ebola.
Yeah. Or
This fight's not
it's
over.
like
Ebola!
bloody ale. Bloody ale. Bloody ale.
Why
Bloody
are we drinking
ale?
bloody ale?
The crazed and delirious Alexander, bruised but not beaten, emerges from the wreckage to fight Achilles on foot. Man to fucking man. I don't know how you are... Oh, I don't know about you, but I kind of would like to know why Alexander is taking this shit so personally. The two face off melee style with improvised weapons, which only ranks second place to the Vespa fight scene between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. Achilles
You mean Bespin.
Best spin. There
Bespin.
we go.
Get it right.
It is Bespin. I gotta go with Gabe on this one.
Yeah, because I
Hey,
had
guys.
took me quite a while to find that Luke Skywalker action figure, the Bespin fatigues.
Guys, what's the difference between a fag and a nerd?
What?
Gabe.
Wait, so is Gabe? Gabe is both.
Are you saying fag and nerd are mutually exclusive? Why you guys to be hating on the gay nerds?
He's like the hybrid.
He's like the hype.
I don't have a problem with gay nerds.
There's nothing wrong with gay nerds. You know?
Achilles.
They got their cool like galgi games for the Japanese thing where you see that
Tamagotchis
game,
or
you see
whatever?
the game where you romance each other but you're pigeons.
What the fuck?
It's a dating sim with one girl
Dating
and a bunch of
sim,
pigeons.
And you're a girl in a classroom full of pigeons. And you
I'm
gotta
sure
pick
Grace
the
has it
pigeon
already.
that you fall in love with.
Yeah.
And it's a dating sim on that one, and it is it's a little bizarre.
Did you
I'm
play
starting to think there's
No, but I did watch like a video on it because
Yeah.
it intrigued me and it was totally odd.
Ever since
It's like the
Gabe
SpongeBob porno.
exposed the secret of Tokyo Gore Police, I'm starting to wonder if like Japan developers make that specifically in mind with perverse Americans in mind. And they're like,
With us in mind?
oh, you know, they think we like get off on this shit, but they perverts. Just fucking make it. They'll fucking laugh, you know?
So the email is changing to joelisracist@gmail.com.
Joel is racist too.
joelisracist69420@gmail.com. Anyway, go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
Okay.
Bespin.
Yes. Achilles deflects Alexander's blows and strikes back, breaking Alexander's left arm. They're both eventually...
This is the only time they're exchanging blows in this particular Next
Instead
time
of
it will
giving
be a
blows.
whole other sense of the word.
They're both eventually disarmed, and it's finally a fist fight. The two struggle to win some more when once again they're stalemated. Alexander, although battered and on the ground, reaches for a rock while Achilles grabs a broken pipe. Achilles tells Alexander they can both live if they just stop fighting, but Alexander says that they're robot jocks and that they're dead already, a line which Hunger Games unapologetically stole for their piece of shit movie. Achilles tosses his weapon and screams, "We can live!" And then the two contemplatively stare at each other. It's only just now that Alexander...
Can you feel the love tonight?
I can show you the world.
Many Disney romance themes suddenly pop up and they look into each other's eyes. You want to see Kiss the Girl? That would be another song.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
God, Kiss the Girl.
You guys are calling me a fag. You guys. Never mind. Okay.
Well, you never wanted to fuck a Disney princess? Come on.
How about
man.
all of them except Snow White? She's boring. Fuck that bitch.
No, I'd take her. I like the dark hair. It just does a thing for me. But
Are you cool with 7 dwarves watching you and jerking off while you're fucking her in her bed?
I prefer it.
Her
What are
tiny
you
bed?
talking about?
I work better with an audience.
Package deal, yo!
Plus,
Package
once you
deal!
spot the,
He wants a threesome with her and Tyrion Lannister.
there you go. I got your comic from that the other day. That was pretty good.
So
Sleeping Beauty is more my type. She's easily rapeable.
I think she's the
Wow.
hottest. But
Don't need to slip her anything.
That's right.
Except a pillow
So
in her
Roofy
head.
was already done.
because Craig raped her once upon a dream.
Once upon a time.
We're talking about Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went to sleep and 50 years later woke up with the inability to control her bowels. No reason. No, nobody knows why.
Oh, that's an unfortunate.
Wait, this is a real life Sleeping Beauty?
No, I'm just making
She
a
was in a
sick
coma.
anal rape joke.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All
Lovey.
stretched out.
Get out.
Lost its anal elasticity. Got it. Okay.
Why are you mad at my dog just because she's on the table? Pointing her butt at Joel. Maybe Joel is the guy.
Wow,
Oh,
she's
time to rape Paul.
All right,
touching her
all right.
ass to the microphone.
Make sure she gets off. Her
She's got
clicking
something to
of
say.
her claws is going to be annoying.
Let me come here. Come on.
She's getting me off.
Come on.
Off,
Off, girl. Off.
Jump. Jump. I mean, get off.
No animals were harmed during the filming.
She does not want to
Milo
be killed.
noticed.
Killed. I was
She's
just
not
nudging.
one to be
I was
killed.
nudging.
He was.
Okay.
He had stuck his finger up there.
I did.
Ooh, girl. Come on. Off you go.
It's only just now that Alexander has the epiphany that maybe there's more to life than killing every fucking buddy you meet.
Boring.
Paul.
Hey, yeah,
Paul at least sodomizes him first.
there's a moral in this story, okay?
Eat your babies.
boy.
Achilles offers his thumbs-up fist pump to his former enemy.
They were all homeless. No one will ever miss them.
Who has murdered countless people in his line of robo-jockery?
Alexander offers his thumbs-up fist pump to his former enemy, and Alexander returns the favor. And the moment their knuckles touch, the penises of every man watching this scene grow 5 sizes.
And the clitorises. Wherever you want it. Grow 3 sizes.
I guess I meant every man, woman, and unborn child grow 5 sizes.
It's like the Grinch finding Christmas all the
Talk
way
about
around.
the most brotacular
Well, guys.
ending ever.
We made it through Robot Jox.
We made it through Robot Jox.
I say we pull out our cocks for
So
Robo
I say
Jox.
next we do Sophie's Choice.
That's a good movie, man.
Boyhood.
Good movie.
Boy.
We're not gonna watch your pervert movies, Paul.
It just sounds perverse.
All right, do we have any do's or don'ts this week?
Hey guys, I saw the movie Boyhood.
Again? Shit, dude. I saw on Netflix Dead Snow, Red vs. Dead.
Is it good?
Oh, I've been meaning to watch it.
It's great. It's fucking great. I want to watch the first one. I didn't see the first one, but it's fucking awesome.
Let's be clear though, Paul. When you say you saw it, by saw you mean masturbated furiously to.
Yeah.
So does
Okay.
that mean every time he says he
Just like
saw
when
something, I
just
have
like
to
when I
like,
said I saw Barney.
Yes.
yeah, or I saw a hobo.
Paul got some of his best styling tips from a hobo before someone forcibly shaved him this weekend.
I saw my newborn, or I saw my baby girl sleeping on the couch the
Oh
other
my
day.
god. Oh my god. Joel
Maybe
goes
pushing
too
it a little
far.
too far at that point.
I'm just saying, maybe-
Should I challenge my baby girl to a push-up contest?
She'd win.
Truth hurts.
I've got to do. I saw Kingsman, and that was actually pretty fucking amusing.
Is that new release or
That's
Yeah,
the
it's at
spy
the
movie.
theaters.
spy movie?
It's kind of like an updated version of James Bond, right? I mean,
Not really. It's a little more tongue-in-cheek than James Bond. It's kind of like James Bond with a little Austin Powers thrown in for fun.
Okay.
Nice.
I saw John Wick. It was good.
Oh yeah. John Wick was cool. I did not like the soundtrack though. It's all like Marilyn Manson and
Yeah.
like new metal bullshit. Would have been a lot better without that, but it was good.
I do have a schlock talk don't, and that is, do not challenge a physically disabled person to do push-ups. That was pretty good, guys. That's words to live by. Okay?
We're all in agreement. As Fred Durst would say, we're all in agreement about that.
Agreeance.
I would say yes. I would say that's
Fred
a bad
Durst.
thing to do.
So don't forget to like us on Facebook. We keep getting new.
Like anyone's
Facebook
gonna
likes.
like us now.
Yeah. We have a lot of
Feel free
KKK
to
members
hate
who
us.
like us.
Feel free to hate us on Facebook too. We're kind of equal opportunity
Yeah.
that way.
I think there's a few. Who haven't we offended yet? I guess Juggalos.
No, we've done Juggalos.
We could explain how
did,
magnets
yeah.
work to them.
By
maybe.
being them, we've offended white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Orientals.
Wow.
The black people.
Craig said Oriental.
He said, not only did he say Orientals, he said the Orientals.
Yes. Give them the "the" in front, just like the royal.
We've used gay pejoratives many times.
Gay people. Yes.
Trans stuff. That's
Native
the-
Americans. Have we really offended them in any way, shape, or form?
I
Do
can
we need
do
to
that.
work
I
on
can
that?
do that
Eating
later. I
bald
can work on
eagles.
that. I can include
Eating
that
bald
in the
eagles.
next.
Well, I don't know if Native Americans care about bald eagles so much, but what other
Okay.
ethnicities do we have to work on?
Just gotta like.
The
I don't know.
Scandinavians.
No, those are us. So
Just kind of white people.
I don't want to do anything to offend myself.
You've done that so well just by
Yeah.
being you.
Might as well just stop looking in the mirror to
I
fix your
offend
hair.
myself several times a day. I offend on myself.
And by offend, he means masturbate.
And then also follow us on Twitter at Shocking Talk, Talking Schlock, Schlocking Talk.
Schlocking talk.
Schlocking
Schlocking
talk.
talk.
That's what it should be.
Schlocking.
So what's our
Stroking
next
cock.
endeavor?
Stroking cock.
Oh, we're gonna do Killing Spree next. the 1989 psychosexual slasher film,
Oh, good.
directed by Tim Ritter.
I can sink my teeth into that. Directed by John Ritter.
Tim Ritter. I believe he's from Florida, and he started
He's the
directing
one with
movies.
Parkinson's, right? I'm just kidding. He died
Started-
of a stroke.
Started directing movies when he was 17.
So does this movie involve hopping vampires?
It doesn't. This is about a guy who's obsessed with the idea that his wife is cheating on him, and he starts murdering everyone around him.
Is he a
This is
robot
like-
that was made by the government?
No.
This is like your life story game.
It's available on YouTube, and so if people could watch it, beforehand. And
We
then-
will.
Because they
Right
will
before.
be able to watch it before we podcast, because this will come out in like 5 months from now.
Oh, we're almost caught up. That's the other thing. So we're the next episode to be edited is like number 24, and this is number 31. We're catching
We're
up.
catching the shits up. Nice.
YouTube. You should look at the Schlock Talk channel on YouTube. That's where you can catch all our stuff.
Yeah, go to YouTube, watch Schlock, and watch this one because I wrote it and narrated.
Endlessly.
And that is why it's like a David Lean epic. It's the Lawrence of Arabia, the podcast.
Oh my
version.
god.
All right, thank
Only
you.
second place to reading Lord of the Rings, the entire fucking chronology of it.
Reading War and Peace.
In one sitting.
It was the best of times.
Out
It was
loud.
the worst of times.
All right, mwah. Good night, everybody.
Kiss, kiss.
I love you.